Here follows the second phase. The time period is 1987 to 1992. The 80s were a bonanza in the Norwegian oil industry. The merchant fleet flagged out, there was a massive loss of Norwegian jobs, being replaced by Filipinos and other low-cost sailors. At the same time, the Norwegian oil industry was booming and there was a great demand for competent labor. Seafarers who would otherwise have become redundant were thus absorbed by the industry, and the upheaval in shipping went completely unnoticed. I chose the oil and gas industry for career reasons. Many interesting assignments followed. I made 5 stops during this period, which was useful in clarifying my way forward in the business. The first job. It is Ecofis 2-4K and the year is 1987. The platform was in the process of completion. Compared to ships, this was a very good technical standard. We lived aboard the crane and hotel platform, DB102, which was connected by a flexible bridge to the platform. The cranes could lift 2 times 7,000 tons, a total of 14,000 tons in a twin lift. I started as an instrument technician, doing work packages for calibration of instrumentation, loop testing and loop function testing. I did on one shift, as the night supervisor. I did many observations that indicated that the filter for who to accept was not the best due to the high demand of labor. In the end, I was asked to support the American Philips startup team. A great job. My companion had been a part of the American troops advancing towards Berlin. It is the Second World War and 1944-45. I got a lot of hands-on stories from the war fields. He told stories and I was happy to do the work. I started up many systems, while learning a lot about his road to Berlin. The 2-4K job was a good job, possibly the best during this period. Anyway, me and a good colleague moved on to the next job. Gulfax B, and it is still 1987. We acted as service engineers for Johnson Control. Back to back, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, starting up ventilation and tuned the overpressure control in technical areas of the platform. An interesting job, with a successful result. The oil industry was booming, 2 prosperous young men surfed the wave. And we moved on from Gulfax B to the next job, Mongstad Development Project. It is 1988. Those who remember, learned the definition of the Mong at this time, and I was satisfied that part of it is in my pocket. Anyway, we represented Statoil at this time, and the task was to witness according to the Statoil specification for calibration, and verification had to be learned by heart. Calibration, loop testing as well as loop function testing, done by their contractor, were inspected, witnessed, and signed off by us. A powerful job, representing Statoil, were the top of the hierarchy in the business of O&G at the time. I moved on, and the winning team split up. By the way, our roads crossed again in 2005, in the 4th step during FPSO and engineering. It is 1988 to 1989 and Statfjord A for Statoil. EB Terrotech, which became part of the EB Industry and Offshore conglomerate, entered a contract for supplying of maintenance services offshore, that is hands, planning, logistics, supervision. I got the job as a field engineer, leading a group of 10 to 30, depending on the workload, of electrical, instrument, tube fitters. A lot of needed upgrades were done until Statoil decided to save money on maintenance. We were terminated. An outlook for an assignment over years was suddenly reduced to 6 months. That also terminated my patience with the randomness of the industry, for a while. I did a radical change. In the period from 1989-1992, I worked as a production manager. I was employed by Nycomed Imaging, part of Hafslund Nycomed. I managed the factory that processed the final synthesis, cleansing, conversion to bulk and packing. This is pharmaceutical industry which complied to FDA by GMP, good manufacturing practice. Production cards were the Bible and microbiological cleanness was a pain in the ass. An experience to carry on, which also clarified where I belonged professionally. The decision came easy. I reverted offshore after 3 years, in 1992. End of part 2.